Told you so. Okay, so everybody has seen the weather changes here in the last couple of weeks. We've had tons of heavy, wet snow. This floor has been soaking wet for basically 2 weeks. I have to say, this floor, you can see, is not swollen anywhere. If this was OSB, we would have for sure had joints that were swollen and everything. So there is a big difference. And that's why I want you to see. If this had been OSB, it would have been a different scenario here. So we believe in it, and this is why. So come on around here and you can see everywhere I go, my joints, they're fine. There's nothing that is out of whack here. So yeah, it was a huge problem for us. No matter what we did, we came in here every morning and the water would be sitting on here. So it's very helpful. We've had lots of problems because of the weather. So we're working on the sheathing the roof or decking the roof. There's lots of guys call it different. So again, we use plywood up there. Lots of people have their own opinions. Plywood's better. We like it, and we're going to keep using it. So the guys have had to stop putting down the sheathing right now because the wind's blowing so hard, and up, down, weather changes, it never stops. So I've got the basement all prepped. I've got my cement guy coming in next week, hopefully, so we can pour it. We're hoping that the weather changes and we don't have as many issues with warmth down there when we pour, but we've had an issue getting our meter installed because we were waiting for somebody to put something in their trench, in our trench, to get it up here, and they didn't. So we couldn't get it backfilled, and the guys won't put the meter on if it's not backfilled. So there you go, another thing. Problems. The story of my life in construction. Anyways, so now you can see what the roof looks like. We got all of our plywood up there. It's looking good. These cardboard things that you'll see in between, they're called insole stops. And the idea behind those is that when you put your attic insulation in there, those prevent it from blowing out into your soffits. So depending on the height of the heels and everything, sometimes you have to put plywood or OSB. We just use something that doesn't matter up there. So you'll see that all around. Any place where it can get out into the eaves trough, or the eave, not the eaves trough, sorry. You see it there? All the way around. Those heel heights required some of that OSB. So there you go. All right, everybody, so now we're down in the basement. We showed you what it was like before we're prepping for our concrete. So now you can see we have what's called drainage rock in here. And so there's a couple of things. I talked to you about weeping tile. I talked to you about radon. All of that stuff, obviously I couldn't have this packed with clay. I couldn't have it put where there's no air movement, because we need to have flows underneath this floor with air. Our weeping tile comes down through this. If we collect any water, we got to get it over to this sump pit. So this is the sump pit, and what we're going to end up with here is we're going to have basically a pump down below there. So if it ever gets water in it, we have pipes that take us outside and we just pump the water outside. So very important. I've kind of talked to you a bit about that, and there's been more people asking me about what's weeping tile, what is all that stuff. We have that on a previous video, again linked up here if you'd like to see it. So this is the drain that is inside of the mechanical room. You have to have that. This is where our water comes in. This is our main water. We're gonna have our furnace in here. Our radon is over there. Our electrical panels here. And we'll have our furnaces and hot water tanks. So we put poly on top of here. There's a couple reasons for that. The number one thing is it prevents all of your moisture in your concrete being sucked out of the ground and it immediately starting to set up. But that's not the main reason. It's just code now so that whenever you're building down here, you don't have water seeping up through the concrete, because concrete actually is pretty porous and it will suck water, so it just gets wet. Anyways, we put that down. We still use treated plywood on, or treated wood on the bottom anyways. But so I'll show you here what happened. So when the cribbers were working here, what happened is they made a mistake on their measurements, and this door entry was too low. So they had to come back and saw cut that so that we can get our door put in here. This is the second walk-up exit for the basement. We've got another one over there as well. So we're just waiting for the telephone company to come and install their line so we can finish backfilling this. The framers still are going to have another couple weeks here. It's been a bit of a challenging time, as I said, with the snow, but this is how the basement looks, cleaned up a little bit better. We're just going to keep moving on, and you'll see all of the things that we do. These red marks, these are clean outs. So when they pour the concrete, we're going to have little pieces of plastic there that we can take off to get at the clean out. The guys mark them from the wall and they put them in a line so that the cement guys know where they are. They can see the red, but just in case there's something to remind them on the wall. You can see down at that end, the number 37. And that's again another clean out. So we'll have another drain there. Not drain, it's a piece. I'll show you when we're about to do it. It's a piece that allows us to remove it to get to the clean out, and the concrete's poured all around it. It's flush with the top of the concrete. So, all right, these walls here. So we put this in. At this point, you can see we've got treated wood, which is what I talked to you about. Here is our footings for our post. We call them post and pad. This is the post, this is the pad. We have over top here, we have a 4x4 that's carrying the load of the stairs down onto a pad over here as well. You can see it here. So anyways, next step is we got to get the windows and everything in here. We'll heat this and then we'll pour the concrete, and then I can have the furnace guys come. I've got the plumbers coming on the 14th, so in just 2 weeks basically, and they're going to do all the rough ins. So it goes plumbing, heating, and electrical, and then we'll have the roof on here and you'll see. Okay, so we're in the garage here. It's got almost 14-foot high walls. So the homeowner's got a lift for a special car that he keeps up there in the winter. And so this garage door on this end is going to be a high door that, rather than just opening to the height of the opening, it carries on up. So the door itself will end up being about 12 feet high inside when it's open. And that allows him to have a car lift here. The car goes up and he can drive another car underneath it. So that's the value of that. So this is nice. He's got lots of extra room for storage and everything on the walls. He's got 2 high windows. And that's just because you don't need them down low. He doesn't want to look out or anybody looking in. So 1-man garage door, a 16-foot, and a 9-foot over here. So anyways, that's the garage. Again, all plywood.